What is the difference between a weak salesperson and a talented salesperson in the way they sell? That's this week on Think Tank Tuesday. Hi, I'm Paul Potratz, and welcome to this week's Think Tank Tuesday. So I posed the question on Facebook, and I have answers, and I'm posing the same question to you, and I want you to put it in the comments below the video if you're on our website. So I asked the question, what is the difference between a weak salesperson and a talented salesperson in the way they sell? And I've got some answers, and I want to read some of these answers to you. So for example, I got Mark, if I slaughter your last name, Fuentes. A weak salesperson always asks for the sale as soon as possible without ever building value with features, advantages, and benefits. So that was Mark's answer. Matt Danskin, he says, I wouldn't say that weak and talented are complete opposites. I've seen plenty of talented salespeople also be weak because they didn't have the drive to pursue the close. And then he goes on. And then Brian Gert says, in a word, attitude. Manny Luna, the sales manager, trained. That was his hashtag. Tom LaPointe, I agree that talented and weak are not necessarily exclusive. And then he goes on, he says, I know many who are talented and very weak, and strong, successful salespeople who aren't necessarily talented. And then he goes on, and you can see these on Facebook. Well, actually, we'll put them on our page too. Alan Baker, sales are all about building relationships. The weak salesperson goes right for the sale without any effort to build rapport or understanding of the client. These are all great answers, but I'm getting to one specific answer that I'm really wanting to make the point on. Anthony, and I'm probably slaughtering his last name, Algana, says their communication skills. Without a doubt, we're almost right there, what we're saying. Dale Childress Jr., follow up and going for the early close. And then Ralph Paglia, we all know Ralph. A talented salesperson has many high-value characteristics, but one of the most effective is that of both a strong and well-developed ability to emphasize, combined with a complementary ability to convey feelings, beliefs, information, and points of value. Good answer. But here's the ideal answer, the one that I was looking for, the very specific one, because I had something in mind, and it's from Jason Grace. And Jason says, the biggest difference between how strong salespeople sell and how weak sell is the strong one builds value and the weak one sells the figures. That is so correct. Thank you, Jason. And in fact, we're going to send Jason a prize and some of you other guys a prize too. So yes, selling figures. And I had to have the glasses to see. I'm getting old, I guess. But your advertising is the same way. We've pointed out, and I think you guys agree, and I want to hear your comments below, but we've really deemed that a weak salesperson sells by price. And it's the same thing in your marketing strategy. Last week, if you didn't watch Think Tank, I want you to go back last week and watch Think Tank because I talked about building a brand, building an identity, how you can stand out, how you can weather a slow economy, how you can really prosper in a busy economy, and that's by building brand. If your ad agency, if your marketing's all based on price, I just don't know where to go. Yeah, price will sell cars, but here's some questions for you. Do you want to show up every day and lose money? Or do you want to show up every day and say, you know what, I might not sell as many as the guy up the road, but I'm not selling triple net. I'm not losing money on my deals. Because if you think about it, if you sell by price, you can die by price because you can only go down. Granted, there's some businesses out there that can sell volume by price, but with all the different ad covenants, how can you keep selling by price? You have to have a brand. And doesn't it make more sense? Because if you think about it, if you're selling by price, how does that affect you? Do your sales numbers, if you're looking at your performance, are you doing this? Is that what you're doing? Well, if you had a brand, if you had a brand identity, if you had a great marketing strategy, your sales numbers would do this. Granted, you're going to have a little bit of this every once in a while based on economy, but you're going to see a gradual, continued growth. You'll be able to go through the slow times, the slow economies. They're predicting gas is going to be $1 a gallon. So what are you doing? Think about it. People are going to start getting laid off, possibly, and I don't mean to be the negative Nancy or whatever. They're going to have to find another job. It's all going to work out. It's all going to be great. But if you're selling by price, you can only go down. That's all you have to negotiate on. And we're saying, with talented salespeople, if you're selling by price, how can a talented salesperson be that talented salesperson and get more gross? How can they get more retention for you? Because you're forcing them to sell by price. Man, I can't even begin. So think about it. If you're selling by price, are you able to attract the best salespeople? Are you able to attract the best internet managers? Is your price on your website, is it all about discount, discount, discount? So if you're selling by price on your website, you're telling people to come in, do a quick quote, give me a quick price, give me an e-price, do this. You're all about price. So you're telling the consumer that's on your website, that person on your website, you're saying, hey, here's my price. Well, that's not really my price. Go ahead and fill in the form, and then I'll give you my real price. What's that say to your credibility? So think about it. Selling by price shows a weak salesperson. Marketing by price shows a weak marketing strategy. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your comments of how you feel about that. And I'm going to give you one tip right now. Do you want to find out what's important? Do you want to find out what's important to the people in your market? Then do a quick survey. There's a lot of free survey sites and inexpensive survey sites. Put together a survey and ask the questions about what's important to an individual other than price. And I got one more tidbit for you too. I want you to create a list of questions of what people have asked you. In other words, customers have asked you, your managers, your internet managers, your salespeople, your office clerk, everybody. Questions they've asked you not having to do with price. And now I ask you, now that you have that list, what are you doing with that information? Are you creating content on your website with that information? Are you creating content for social media with that information? Are you creating content in your email marketing with that information? Is that what you're training your salespeople with that information? Because if you are, now you can stop selling by price. You can see your grosses up and you can weather through the worst storms in the economy ever. I hope that helps you, and I'll see you next week.